This is another video to showcase another very beautiful 600 size helicopter. This is the Roban Airwolf. I'll be featuring it in this video. It's a beautiful rendition of the famous Airwolf. This is the first version I have here. It's not the latest version. The latest versions, the doors open and everything, but this one has retractable landing gear. Very beautiful retractable landing gear. I've added lights, as all my helicopters. I do that. Here's the front. I have a DFC Flybarless system here. The mechanics are your HK GT mechanics. This is a HobbyKing clone. You'll see this one here, as opposed to my other retractable helicopters, is using a servo. And this is a truck steering servo that I'm using. It has these linkages where when you initially set it up, it's kind of a process to make sure that it's all lined up so they all go up at the same time and down at the same time to the same levels. I've recently upgraded my ESC to 120 amp Hobbywing Platinum version 4 ESC, which is a very good ESC for helicopters. I have lights. The servos are all upgraded to Savox servos, as I do in all my 600s. The gearing is the standard gearing for the helicopters. I'm adjusting my RPMs with the governor mode on this ESC. My Flybarless system is my favorite, which is the BeastX. It's located back there, you can see it. The difference between this helicopter and the other ones is that this one has a belt-driven tail. The other ones are all torque tube. Again, I put lights here as well. Painted the tips of the blades. These are Hobbywing Rotor Star blades. I'm probably gonna paint it gray, but I left it for now. Very nice screens. I don't like to put the arms, so I don't put the arms on these helicopters, the armament. And these are the weights required for getting the CG right. Now, there is a cockpit available for this helicopter as well, where you could simply reduce these weights and instead put the cockpit in there so that, you know, it'll be more scale. But I don't have the cockpit. I opted to just spray tint this helicopter. Now, a little bit of history about this helicopter. This helicopter was involved in an ESC fire before I replaced it. You can see the fire damage here. And if you notice here, it says HeliArtist. HeliArtist was the helicopter company that became Roban, or Roban bought it. So that's how old this one is. The mechanics, again, okay, so the motor is, again, a 1200 kV motor. It's running on 6S. And my receiver system is Spectrum. So I will list the details below on the setup on this helicopter. It won't change with the new ones. If you have the new fuselage, I don't think the setup will change if you want to go on 6S. So let's see how she flies. Oh, one more thing. The head. This was replaced. The mechanics was a flybarred mechanic from HobbyKing, and I upgraded it to a DFC head aftermarket. This helicopter flies with about 6,000 to 5,300 or 5,000 to 6,000 milliamp hour 6S. I'm using SMCs here. And here's my throttle curve on normal mode, which is 0 and then a flat 68%. On idle up 1, it's 73%, and idle up 2, it's 77%. This is to keep a constant head using the ELF programmable features of the ESC. That gives about, I think, I'll list the RPMs for each mode. As far as the pitch curve is concerned, I'm running on normal, I'm running 34, 50, 65, 77, and 90, which I believe brings up to a -2 pitch at low stick, about +4 mid stick, a little bit past mid stick, and then +10 at the high stick. So I keep on the idle up 1, I have a little bit less negative on low stick and a little bit higher on the high stick as far as pitch. And as for the second idle up, again, more on each extreme, more pitch. The helicopter is set up to be 0 pitch at mid stick in idle up mode. Typical setup. All right, let's connect up the ESC. Wait for it. Okay. Check the direction of everything. This is right, left, forward, backwards. And we'll check the direction of the tail. It should pinch when I push it out. Pinching. Correct. We're going to also check the direction of the gyro. So if I tilt it forward, you see the Swashplate moving. It stays level. You see that? So if I tilt it forward, it's also staying level. Same with left and right. When you do left and right, here you see left, it keeps the Swashplate level, which means all is good. The reason I do all these checks before is because I haven't flown her for a good, I don't know, 6 months maybe. So we're gonna make sure everything's okay before flight. I also recommend checking the linkages and making sure the linkages are all tight and none of the screws have come loose. If you don't have Loctite on the major metal to metal bolts, make sure you do put some Loctite and that it's tight. Everything should be vibration proof. There is vibration in these helicopters. Okay, let's go. A lot of vibration. I didn't have this before. Let's land and see what the cause is. Okay, closing remarks. I was hoping that I could fly this guy today and show you how beautiful it is in the air and how amazing, you know, it's just a great flying helicopter when she's not vibrating. So the beauty of rotary flight is that you need to know how to fix vibrations. So that's what we're going to do next, is we're going to figure out why this is vibrating. And if you noticed, the tail was going up and down on the z-axis very quickly. So that indicates to me that there's a rotor imbalance here. I don't know, maybe when I repaired it, I put the wrong blades on each side, but I'm not going to do that at the field. I'm going to go and check it out. The direction of the blades are correct. You know, you can see that the direction of this rotation is towards the linkages, which is correct. Sometimes people put these backwards. That's not the case here. Obviously, there's a vibration issue. It could be a bearing, it could be a balancing issue. We'll figure it out. And I'll share my process. I'm sure others will go through this at some point if they're into helicopters, or they have. You know, they can chime in and provide their experience. Now, with regards to the head assembly, I'm going to also check that to rule out any kind of balancing issue. So that's what we'll do next on this series for the 600 helicopters, is to check for vibrations on the main rotor and the tail rotor. Hopefully we can fix this guy. Thank you for your time. Again, too bad I couldn't fly her today, but I'll definitely fly her again on the next episode of the Airwolf 600 by Roban. Thanks.